Start your show now. Press 1.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Hey, people, what's going on? It's your man, Tim Black. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the Freedom Friday show. Yes, people, we are here. We are in the house. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad that I am here. We are all here. We are very much here in the house. All right, let me go check. Make sure that, let's go with Facebook first this time. Make sure that Facebook can actually hear us. What's up, Renee? How you doing, Renee? And Amanda? And Harvey and Jasmine and Nicole? How you doing, Victor Leo and Jared? David's in the house. All right. Getting a little bit of love over there on Facebook. Good to see you guys. Gene Pennington and Julie. Leanne Williamson. Mark. Mark says, I hope that everyone had a great Christmas and we'll have an awesome new year. What a way to start the show. Thank you. Melisa and Julie, once again, we are good. Now let's check and make sure we got people on Facebook, YouTube. See if our YouTube people are in the house. We got some people on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? My YouTube people. Survivor Mary. D Wonder Woman, Karen M. Jesus, Don Imus. Good point. 99 Nations says, let's make sure we take the fluffiest establishment cornbread. Only the finest. And Sirius says nothing but the whole truth here. There you go, Sirius. 76 in the house. We're doing it, guys. Johnson, Joe Famous and Al. What's up, Al? Wolfpack, Schultze 101 or 100. I'm good. 100. Guyver, Kennedy, Simonetti, Brad Bloom, Abdul, Benad. There it is, guys. Let's get going, because it is Freedom Friday, and I figured there are, people are off. Well, it's the holiday season, so some people took off, right? And those people that took off need something to do. And that's sort of like my job, to kind of like put stuff out, entertain and educate, inform, keep it lively. So I'm like, you know what? I should, try to put out as much content as possible. That's how you kind of get a jump on the whole situation. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Yeah. So I got a couple stories to run. This is Freedom Friday. Let me put the phone number up now, because I will forget if I don't put it up now. I'll get going on something. Since this show is not scripted, it's very easy to get caught up and forget to do something like put the phone number up, 319-527-6212, 6212-1212. Check 212. Check 1212. 1212. Turn my headphones up. No, seriously, turn my headphones up. No, it's not a song. Turn the damn headphones up. All right, guys, let's get going. So what I like to do on Freedom Friday is get things going, introduce a couple stories that you may not have seen, that you may have seen. Who knows? I don't know what you watch. I don't know what news you consume, but I got a couple stories I'd like to run through, and then we open up those phone lines, and we get our callers to dial in at the number here on the screen. That number right there. So, yeah, guys. Wow. Can we start off by saying, what a great show yesterday. Yeah, what a great show. What a great interview. Had Senator Nina Turner on the show yesterday. Some of you probably saw it. If you haven't, it's on the YouTube channel. It's up there. Amazing, inspirational, powerful voice. Killing it. Senator Turner, very, very gracious lady. Powerful. And it was a great conversation, and it's like talking to an old friend. That is her third time on our show. And I'm very happy to be very fortunate to be able to impress, to be able to have people like Senator Nina Turner on my show, people that can give us insight into what's going on in the most popular campaign in America right now, who happen to be in Ohio, so able to do that. So shout out to Senator Nina Turner. Thank you once again for showing up, for being here, and for giving us all your time, on about 45 minutes of your time. Very valuable. Thank you. Also want to announce January 3rd, my guest will be Paula Swearingen. Paula Swearingen. I don't interview candidates like I used to, but Paula Swearingen is a friend of mine who has been on the show before, who I've met in person. Interviewed in person, and then had her on the show as well. And here we go again. So she's got some announcements to make about her political aspirations and what she's trying to do for the people of West Virginia. So we'll talk about that. Yeah, so I think that's enough for right now. Let's get going, guys. Everyone has an opportunity to shine. Everybody has an opportunity to put their best foot forward. And I think it's true what they say, that when you go to D.C., things change. People tend to morph into this thing. Then it's also, if D.C. don't change you, politics don't change you, if you're not careful, money will change you. Okay? Money has a way of dulling the senses, making people with certain ideologies switch and just doing something totally out of character. I don't know. Okay? Then there are people who I don't know if they were ever authentic to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, who were they? I don't know. Such is the case with this story I'm about to present to you. Now, it's a little bit of an older situation, but a Wolfpack member sent it to me because this is from the Democratic debate, the post-debate. It's where Senator Elizabeth Warren sat down and talked to a panel of CNN hosts, right? She talked to Chris Cuomo, what's his name, Van Jones, and Axelrod. And somebody else is there too, I forget her name. It's a lady though. And some things were said. So that's the setup. there was just a scuffle on stage between Elizabeth Warren and Pete Buttigieg over campaign donations. And you may recall the whole wine cave thing came up, Mayor Pete's wine cave. Well, that story came up, and Elizabeth Warren whacked Pete about, having this $900 champagne, these rich bastards he's hobnobbing with. And she feels that can corrupt you, that can put a spin on the policies that you implement or that you push, because you are beholden to these people and spending all this money, $1,000 for a bottle of champagne in this wine cave with crystals and stuff. So anyway, so that's where we are. That's the setup. Now here goes the clip.
Better than Pete when it comes to money in the campaign?
I have made it clear since the day I got in this race, my time is not for sale.
Is his?
I don't hold closed-door fundraisers.
That wasn't closed door, There was pool representatives for the media there.
Oh, not at the dinner.
Oh, yes, there was.
No, I don't think that's right. I don't think there were people in the dinner.
The pool, there was
the
a pool
dinner
there
were they
covering
were
it.
serving the $900 wine. My understanding is they were at a reception, but not at the dinner. And
Right,
when
but-
the 50 donors who got the $900 a bottle wine in the wine cave,
So you think having
filled with
media there in the
crystals,
front part of it's not enough? Should be
Well,
open the whole time.
It means that nobody knows what was said behind closed doors.
I hear you on
Now
that.
he's opened his fundraisers, though, right?
Well,
He said he had opened them before that, but look, this is about how we're going to behave as Democrats and whether we're going to be able to say credibly to the American people, I'm not here to fight for the billionaires. I'm not here to fight for the big corporations. I'm here to fight for a family like yours. I'm here to fight for your family.
How do you respond, though, when Pete says, you're a millionaire? You are a millionaire. Are you saying if I take money from you, I'm corrupt? I didn't hear you respond to that.
Oh.
If I run for office, but I never will, and I took money from you, would I be corrupt?
I said I don't sell access to my time.
So it's not,
whether
it's not
you
who,
give me $5 or whatever is the maximum, I'm not spending my time doing call time. I'm not spending my time having private
Are you worried about
conversations
the,
with you.
are you worried
I'm
about
not
this whole idea?
selling a photograph
Like,
for
I think-
$5,000.
Well said. But are you worried? When he says a thing, when he says the thing purity test, that resonates with me.
Yeah.
I do feel that there's something beginning to happen in the party where you've got to be pure on every issue. You've got to be above, and a lot of people start feeling left out and excluded by your kind of populism, which can sometimes sound elitist. Does that make sense to you?
You know, that's not how I see it. I don't think the American people are looking for purity. I think they're looking for someone who's trying. And that's what I'm doing. I'm out there trying. I've said I'm going to run a campaign from grassroots donation. I suppose at that point I'm supposed to say, please go to ElizabethWarren.com and pitch in $5 if you think that's how a campaign should run. I do call time. Do you know who I called in my last call time? A couple of people who gave $5 each, somebody who gave $20. Because
But Senator, you didn't answer Chris's question, which is, for 6 years you did raise money that
Sure.
way. Did you feel corrupted by the money you were raising?
look, I saw what it is that people expect in return. And I also understand.
But you didn't give it.
I understand that the American people who watch this government work better and better and better for giant corporations and for rich people want to hear someone who credibly can say, I will take on the billionaires. I will fight to beat back the influence of money in Washington. I'm building a grassroots movement, and you know what the number one thing we start with is? It's anti-corruption. I have the biggest anti-corruption plan since Watergate, and it's about campaign
just
contributions and so much more.
One last question.
Sure.
The point he made at the end was the amount of money that's going to be thrust behind the Trump campaign and the Republican campaign is probably going to be historic.
It already is.
And is it responsible to disarm in the face of that and limit the amount of money that you can raise and spend in the
Buttigieg
campaign?
said the Democrats are going to tie one hand behind their back if they continue on your road
Look,
with this.
I have never asked other Democrats who are running against a Republican to unilaterally disarm. I don't believe in doing that, but I'm telling you how I run my campaign. I'm running it with a grassroots movement because here's the thing. You can only spend so much money on TV ad versus TV ad. So much money on internet ad versus internet ad. Do you know what our comparative advantage is going to be as Democrats? It's going to be the grassroots movement we build.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, that was kind of hard to listen to, man. I figured I'd cut it off. I think you got the idea of what they were kind of shooting for. It's got to be a hard life being a millionaire or a billionaire. It's got to be tough, man. People don't want to be corrupted by your money. They don't want you to hold your money over them. And they won't let you play in any of their reindeer games. They won't invite you over, man. Marginalized. The new marginalized people are billionaires. Not getting a fair shake in society. You know, got separate water fountains for them. They got to sit in the back of the bus. Heard down south they're lynching them. You know? People calling them richers. Damn richers. Get these richers out of here. And these billers. Can't stand these billers. Yeah, man, it's tough, man. Tough being a billionaire and multi-millionaire these days, man. Just get no respect. People spitting on you. A regular person, a working person's walking on the sidewalk. Rich guys got to walk in the street. Hey, it's a hard life being a billionaire, man. I thought Van Jones was going to literally start crying. Oh, all the billionaires are treated so badly. Oh, I feel so bad for them. Oh, God. I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking about all the poor billionaires. Poor billionaires. And these millionaires, man, how are they getting by in Trump land? They're barely making it. They don't get tax breaks or nothing. This, folks, is the most repugnant, upside-down world. And there are actual literal people, yo. Literal working people who work for a living, who did not inherit trust funds. First of all, let's keep it real. Let's like 40 to 50% of wealthy people in the United States inherited their wealth. I mean, let me repeat that. 40 to 50% of these rich people didn't earn it. Somebody else earned it in their family and handed it to them. Yeah, somebody had an idea, caught a couple tax breaks, or maybe they got a good deal on some land or something. Some of them worked really hard too, don't get me twisted, okay? But I'm saying the money was handed down to them. That's why when we bring up things like reparations, it matters that people were able to pass down wealth because it matters because 40 to 50% of the wealth that people have now is not wealth that they're earning now. It's wealth that was already earned. But that's another conversation that seems to go over people's heads. That's why it's kind of important for everybody to have the ability to make money and have access to resources forever, just like everyone else, because that's how money's made in America. But yeah, it's really horrible the way that they're defending the billionaires. And now, don't get me wrong, Elizabeth Warren is not great on this. Well, listen here. I believe that I can't be totally honest because if I'm totally honest, then I would say yes, I was influenced by money. Gee willikers, fiddle these dicks, Tim Black. I can't tell you how many times you have to switch up on me. Elizabeth Warren couldn't keep it real and just say, yes, when I was taking money, hey, it did have an impact on me. My time was one. The other was, sometimes I had to think like, am I doing this for the right reasons? I don't want them in my ear because they're the people with the money trying to persuade me. Luckily, I was able to stay steadfast, but everyone's not me. But see, that would be too real for Elizabeth Warren. And that would probably not even be 100% true. But she could have weaved in some story. She could have made it more personal, more real when Axelrod said, hey, were you tempted by money? You used to take money. Were you tempted by it? Did it corrupt you? You know? And David Axelrod's a fine person to be talking about this. Chief strategist for Barack Obama, who took all that Wall Street money. And then what does he do? He doesn't bail out Main Street. He doesn't make sure the mom and pops who are losing their homes stay in their homes. Who does he bail out? Main Street. I'm sorry. Wall Street. That's who he bailed out. Wall Street. Get it? But no, Axelrod doesn't understand money at all. He's like, what money? What's that? I don't even know what money is. I've never even heard of this. Is it used as a form of exchange? You do stuff, you purchase stuff with it? I've never heard of it. I mean, these motherfuckers act like we don't live in a country that literally sold people. This country, we literally sold people. And this country, we still sell people. It's called child smuggling and women smuggling and shit. That's really going on. Every Super Bowl, there are women brought in from all these countries on the black market who are purchased like cattle in America right now. And we got these dumbasses sitting up on CNN pretending like they have no idea whatsoever what money does. You go to Landover, Maryland right now and find yourself a person on drugs and give them $100. If you can't catch them at the right time, they'll run in someone's house and blow someone's brains out, Johnson. But these assholes act like they don't understand money influence at all. We got people living literally in the streets. Out here near where I live at in Waldorf, Maryland, there are people who have no money who are camping in the woods. They don't want to camp in the woods, but they don't have a place to live because they don't have what? Money! But you had these fuckheads on CNN pretending like there's no... Look at Van Jones, a black man. I'm offended that you... It's almost elitist that you don't want to take the elitist money. I'm feeling this is a little bigotry here against rich people, that you are excluding them from your clubs. You don't want to, you're discriminating. It's like he wants to go back to the ACLU and file paperwork against working people and their candidates for not wanting to be influenced by people's money. It's a disgusting thing, guys, when you have these people are considered journalists and commentators, and these are people that other people pay attention to. They care what they say. If you are new to this channel, I want you to understand something. We live in the real world here on the Tim Black Show, not the pretend world where people can make up their own facts and realities. We live in the reality that is present. And what is present right now is that just for, I don't know how it happened, maybe it's just luck, but when rich people want something done, it gets done. There was a study done by a couple of universities. In that study, they found that 70% of the time when rich people and corporations want a law to be passed, it happens. Only 30% of the time that when people want something done or a law enacted, does it pass. What does that tell you? Money. Look, Wu-Tang told you 20 years ago, for those in the cheap seats, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. It ain't changed. We're at the door of 2020, and we have people that are delusional. Van Jones said purity test. If I hear one more corrupt son of a bitch say it's a purity test to demand that your people that you're going to vote for actually put you before corporations. If I hear one more of these bastards do that, I'm going to go after your ass on Twitter and make you my new project. I'm going to literally make you my part-time job. I will drop a video on your head every day. I should get you, Van Jones, just for being that damn stupid. You're the guy pushing for police reform, and you don't understand money? You fucker, you sit there and you talk about cash bail. You talk about the poor people. You never met a rich person on death row. You know, you're the one. And now you get on CNN, you corrupt bastard, and act like you don't understand, and it's a purity test. Oh, it's like a purity test. I'm noticing this in the progressive. First of all, you're not in the progressive movement anymore. You left. You're now an anchor on a garbage network that lies to the people on a daily basis for a paycheck, sir. You're no longer that guy. Ever since you got up on CNN groveling to keep your damn job because you accidentally got caught saying, which was true, which is nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. Then you had to go up on CNN, your show, and cry and whine as if you weren't a grown man with a backbone and a spine and integrity. Axelrod is a scumbag. Cuomo's full of garbage. He's right, though, about Elizabeth Warren taking money. She did take money, Johnson. You're right about that. But you as just as bad as them because you're not admitting that money has a corruptive influence in our politics. Everyone knows it. Who are you lying to? The 3 people in Nantucket who have shit for brains? Who may be watching your show? What's your favorite color? 16. So this is what you just watched, ladies and gentlemen, was a perfect display on how media manipulates. It's a purity test to want money out of politics. It's a purity test to want people to want Medicare for all. It's a purity test for us to want to get rid of college student debt. We got people 60 and 70 years old dying with student debt. They're taking it out of their estates. Do you understand? It's not these people up on this panel, these people, they piss me off. They get me angry, obviously, right? But nothing gets me, my blood more up, right? Than the average person who is indoctrinated, who starts repeating this nonsense. We need to change how our politics is done. You can run a grassroots campaign. Bernie Sanders is running one now. Okay? It can be done. Do you know how good it feels that I have a network, my own-ish, and I can say what I want to say. And no one can fire me. And yeah, people subscribe and unsubscribe, and sometimes those people give it. I had a person write me 10-paragraph message who only gives me $2 a month, but it was really upset because they disagreed with my opinion on a single issue. Then proceeded to tell me how they were going to pull their $2. Do you know how great it was? How fantastic it is that they don't control my show, that they only give that little bit of money, that I can say, you know what, I'm not changing nothing I do, and no, I can still operate. To be able to say to them, you know what, we just going to have to disagree. Pull your money if you want to. But the show will go on, and I'm going to keep saying my truth. It's funny how you like it when you agree with it. You love it. When I say what you want me to say, you love me. You want to name your child after me. But when you disagree with me, all of a sudden I am the devil. All of a sudden I am working for the Putin or the Russian bots or something. There's something, I'm with Hillary Clinton or something. But the beauty of it, guys, is no matter how pissed off that person gets, they ain't going to shut down my show. They're not going to make it so. So that's what I'm saying. These people don't know the beauty of autonomy. They don't know the beauty of being funded by the people. Because if you are truly funded by the people, you are not on this roller coaster. You don't have to show up. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry I said that I did not like that, sir. I apologize. I dearly apologize. I don't know what I was thinking. Stupid. I don't know what I was thinking having an opinion. I should have checked with you first and made sure that my opinion was your opinion before I made it my opinion. You know how good it feels not to be that way? That's how they have to live, man. They have to fall in line. So this clip is the quintessential example of what happens when you are a corrupt journalist, commentator, and politician. Elizabeth Warren should have shut this shit down and said, yes, I'm an example of what can happen, and I had to get out of it. That's why I stopped taking that money. It's not good. It's corruptive. It's corrupting. It has the potential to corrupt us and influence us unnecessarily, and I don't want those distractions in my campaigns. And yes, it can have a corruptive effect. It can have a corrosive effect on one's principles because money is so important. And that's why you got to, and I'm not saying we pretend that money's not important. Yes, it is, but it's so important. Money is so important, guys, that you got to spread it around. You got to get it from a lot of people, a little bit at a time. That way, you got an army of people, and you're never at the whims of people's opinions or people's bad decisions or people's self-interest. So Elizabeth Warren's right to stop taking the money. I wish she would not take it in the general. You can run a grassroots campaign all the way through, man. You don't have to take dog money. Pete Buttigieg is brought and paid for. That's what he is. You're not even looking at him. You're looking at, he's a sponsor. He is the spokesperson for corporations and Wall Streets and executives and think tanks. He's not a person. He's a front man. You understand? Pete Buttigieg is a front man for special interest groups. And we should not be fooled by any of the smooth talk. Van Jones, you are a disgrace. Chris Cuomo, you know better. Axelrod, shut up. Next story. Okay. Now it's a good time to remind you that the Tim Black Show is brought to you by you. There's no shadowy figures in the background. You know, there's nothing. There's just regular people who say, hey, Tim, keep the show going. And they get $5, $10, $20. Okay? That's what they do. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Join up. Do it on YouTube for $5, $10. Yeah, I'm sure you spend $10 a month doing something. You know, I don't know. And if you can't, that's fine. I understand if you can't. But just know that's how this show is run. So become a part of it. All right. Make sure we're all good here, guys. Before we go to the next segment, what happened? It's just spinning. I hate that. Don't you hate that when you're trying to listen to something and you can't get it? Let's do what it needs to do. All right. I had to check and make sure all the sound's okay. So now let's go to the next story, guys. My next one, every once in a while, good things happen. You know, and we need some good things to happen. We're moving into 2020, you know, and hopefully everybody's doing okay. Everybody's feeling good. We're feeling optimistic about what the future holds for us. You never know what it's going to be. And I strongly believe that you got to make your own luck. Speaking of making your own luck, Bernie Sanders is starting to get hotter and hotter. Yeah, like they were looking around at all those shiny objects. Ooh, look, it's a Buttigieg. Look, I've never seen a Buttigieg before. It's such a difficult name to say. It's interesting. Oh, and he's gay. Isn't that interesting? He has a husband and a dog. He doesn't know quite what to do with his hands, but he looks like an interesting kind of guy. Oh, he speaks so many languages. Wow, he's so interesting. He can talk and stuff. It's like a little mechanical man. Look at him. Oh, look at him. Hey, look, oh, they see another shiny object. Oh, look at her. Kamala, yeah. Look at her. She's all in charge. Oh, she's wagging her finger. Look at her wagging her finger. Look at her. Look, oh, this is amazing. She's a tough customer. Wow. Isn't she something, boy? She makes white guys squirm more than paternity tests. Look at her. Oh, she's amazing. Wow. She's exciting. Oh, look. And Rich Bastard's joining. And he's something. Did he own Starbucks? Oh, God, he's running. I knew he was that tall. Oh, this guy sucks, Johnson. Jesus. Get him out of here. Oh, look, an Asian man running. Wow. You don't say. Man, we got all these shiny objects running. It's crazy. Oh, no, look at all the people in there. It's a Benetton commercial up in this mofo. Gay dude, black woman, Asian man. Wow. Old people. Ah. And while they were looking around at all the signs and sights and sounds, oh, the vice president's in the race. Let's see if he can lose for the fourth time. This is amazing. Look at him, man. Right off the heels of eating chicken wings with Obama, man. Yeah, man. My man Joe Biden in this mofo. He wasn't going to get in it. Then he was like, I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. I got to think about it. Maybe I will. I don't know. Should I get in? I don't know. I might get in, though. Man, let's see. We're going to see what happens, you know. Oh, man, look. Oh, he's behind. Oh, he did it. Oh, man. Woo! Joe Biden's in the race. But all this activity was going on. They forgot about something. Bernie motherfucking Sanders. Dog. For the win.
Move along. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' 2020 campaign seems to be catching the attention, at least of some Democratic insiders, finally, as some new reports highlight his potential to win the party's nomination. Politico reporting that over the past few weeks, Democratic officials, political operatives, and pundits have reconsidered Sanders' chances in 2020. They point to Senator Elizabeth Warren's recent slide in the polls, as well as Senator Sanders enduring the ups and downs of the primary race, including his bounce back after a heart attack in October, while other candidates have either dropped out or are polling in single digits. The Politico piece points to the latest CNN SSRS poll, which shows Sanders has the highest net favorability rating of any Democratic presidential candidate. And the New York Times is up with a story pointing out that with less than 6 weeks until voting begins now, Sanders sits at the top of the polls in Iowa and other early voting states. His supporters' loyalty has made him a contender, with almost 60% of likely Iowa Democratic caucus goers saying their support for the Vermont senator is locked in. That's according to the latest Des Moines Register poll. This could result in a strong showing for Sanders at the February caucus, of course, where candidates must receive at least 15% of support at a caucus site in order to collect the site's share of delegates. Mike Barnicle, I turn to you as someone who's watched a lot of these presidential races. When these polls come up seemingly every morning, and we might talk about Mayor Pete's rise or how Joe Biden has stabilized, Bernie Sanders every time. Talk about durability in Joe Biden. How about Bernie Sanders? Hangs out right there in that second slot, right around where Joe Biden is, and increasingly distancing himself from Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, in addition to the word durability, underline it next to Bernie Sanders, you can also underline consistency, and you can underline predictability and loyalty. All of his followers, they have been with him for many, many years. They didn't just sort of jump on the Sanders train a few months ago. They have been with him for many, many years, even prior to his announced run for the presidency. And the survival factor here, including the heart attack, is absolutely amazing when you think about it. That plus the fact that you've seen pictures of him with a baseball bat, he's got a pretty good swing for a guy his age. And little top-handed, heavy, probably, not a pull hitter.
That's all right.
But really good.
Uses all the field. He also can shoot a mid-range jumper. Don't sleep on his basketball game. Heidi, let me read you a poll that was circulating yesterday that was kind of stunning. Gabe D. Benedetti gets the hat tip here from New York Magazine. The Real Clear Politics average on December 19th of 2018 had Joe Biden at 27.5, Sanders at 19% support. Exactly 1 year later, December 19th, 2019, Joe Biden 27.8, Bernie Sanders 19.3. So for all the ups and downs of this race over the course of a year, there they stand, the two at the top, of exactly where they were a year ago.
you guys never came to me on Home Alone, but I just can't believe, cannot believe that you guys.
All right, so there you go. I'm gonna leave that there with the clip, but I just want to point out that Bernie Sanders is they're starting to recognize that Bernie Sanders is in a very good position to win this whole nomination. That's what's happening, Johnson. He's polling very well in New Hampshire, in Iowa, as in Nevada. So with that type of ground game, and we also got to factor in the swing states, okay? But that's later down the road, Super Tuesday. The thing is, they weren't paying attention to Bernie. It was too much activity, too much happening, too much going on, too much Trump coverage. And he's capitalizing on it. And I'm not going to say it was intentional, Johnson. They blacked out Bernie, but they couldn't back down Bernie. Oh, they ignored Bernie, but they couldn't destroy Bernie. I don't agree with Barnacle much, but he's right about the support level, the loyalty of Bernie's supporters. I mean, generally speaking. Generally speaking. Some people have changed, and that's fine. Everybody can endorse and support whoever they want to support. The bottom line is they'll be back, if not for reasons of loyalty, they'll be back for reasons of pocketbook. But I digress. The whole point is that Bernie Sanders is right where he needs to be right now, and his supporters are the reason why he's there. Grassroots level support. We're talking about all the volunteers. We're talking about all the contributors. Okay, this is going down in a big way. So we got some time in front of us, right? We're going into Iowa in 35, 38 days, something like that. And Bernie's well positioned to take it. Okay? So I just want to say thank you, MSNBC. I want to say thank you, CNN, for ignoring Bernie as much as you did. Yeah, you focused on the torpedo-like shooting out of Elizabeth Warren, and then she did exactly what we thought she'd do because true colors start to come out. Right? What'd she do? She flip-flopped. Oh, I'm Medicare for all, Gee Willikers, I really like this Medicare for all. Then it was time to defend it. She was like, I don't know if I really like this Medicare for all. Maybe we'll Medicare it for some other time. How about that, Tim Black? Milk that head. There you go again. Picking on me. Well, I'm not going to stand for that. No, I'm not. And then, what's happening now is it's becoming more and more evident that Bernie Sanders is smoking her. It's a slow smoke, but it's happening. She's going the wrong way at the wrong time, Johnson. Joe Biden is holding but slipping. He's doing what Joe Biden does. The more he talks, the less people like him. Not my fault, Johnson. It's what he does. That's what Joe Biden is. That's who he is. In fact, the more he goes around, the more they see that Joe Biden is not as friendly, as nice a guy, as folksy as he pretends to be. All the faces in the world doesn't change. That Joe Biden's mouth and his policies suck. Okay? He gets pissed off too quick, and his policies suck. There's nothing exciting about Joe Biden's policies. So I think the more people know this as we get closer, we got more debates to go. It's going to become more and more evident. What's going to happen is they're going to have to come for Bernie. And I feel really strongly that Bernie will withstand his own level of storm because of the loyalty of his supporters. That's what you need. And you don't get that having a zero track record of no history behind you. You don't get that by flip-flopping on important legislation, very popular policies that most Americans are interested in, like $15 minimum wage, Medicare for all, college relief, student debt relief. Like, you don't get that type of electricity around your campaign when you don't have big ideas. Just not going to happen. So I find it interesting, guys. We'll keep you up to date on it. Bernie right where he needs to be in order to take this thing. I'm not telling you this to get you excited. Hey, I'm telling you, over the last couple of days, I've been reading articles in the New York Times, in the Washington Post, in Politico. The Democrat insiders are starting to worry. They're starting to worry that Bernie just might win this thing. And then they send in Deval Patrick. Look at this guy. Come on, Deval, get in here. Put your shoes on, man. Get in here. Yeah? Michael Bloomberg coming in out of nowhere, parachuting in. You know? The Crypt Keeper came in. They're all trying to stop Bernie Sanders. Make no mistake about it. That's what the goal is. Mark my words. Bloomberg needs to be dealt with because Bloomberg, somebody said, I put out a video, guys. Just bear with me. I put out a video about Michael Bloomberg. I said Michael Bloomberg is a threat. People up there worried about Michael Bloomberg's policies. It doesn't matter if he's unlikable, Johnson. He can hire the best videographers money can buy to pretend to be a good person. You understand? Michael Bloomberg has already spent $100 million in like a month. He's at like 5 to 7% in the polls. All off money, okay? He's willing to spend another $900 million. He's worth like $40 billion. He's willing to spend $1 billion just in the primary. If you don't think that makes him a threat, I don't know what world you live in. Money is a threat. And you got a guy who's old as hell and doesn't care about other people. He doesn't care. He's stubborn. He's a bigot. He's got a one-track mind. He wants to stop Bernie Sanders. He's going to spend a lot of money trying to do it. I don't think it's going to be successful, but he's who I'm looking at. I'm not paying attention to Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer has the charisma of a dead snail. No one's going to vote for Tom Steyer, okay? He did a lot of dirty stuff in the 90s. Now he's trying to repay it, okay? Fine, good. Spend money, waste your money. Okay, he's still at 1% in the polls. Bloomberg, on the other hand, is at 5 and 7%. He came in 1 month and passed up a lot of people. I would start naming people, but people will start to cry. Okay? This is the reality of what money can do for you. So we got to deal with that. But as AOC said, and I love this quote, she says, they got money, but we got people. I said, they got money, Johnson, but we got people, Johnson. So that's what's so powerful about Bernie. Bernie Sanders is not me, us. Okay? And that's the beauty of it. That's the strength of it. That's what makes it a revolution. Elizabeth Warren can't say she has a revolution because she doesn't have people. Joe Biden doesn't have a revolution because he doesn't have people. It's going to take having people to get any of the things done. Big change that we want done, we're going to need people to get it done. Because we're going to need those people in the streets. We're going to need those people active. Okay? So that's it. I'm off my soapbox. Bernie Sanders got them pissing their pants. Oh, no. A heart attack couldn't stop him. No, it didn't. Oh, no. We've been ignoring him for months. That didn't stop him. No, it didn't. And just like that, he was gone. To the finish line, Johnson. All right. Next story. Now, there's this thing people have been saying, this term people have been using. Arguably, it was, I don't know why a lot of people on the left were using it, but it's called TDS, or Trump Derangement Syndrome. That's when people blame everything on Donald Trump. Oh, man, I forgot to cut on my alarm clock. That daggone Trump did it. Uh-oh. Mr. Period. That darn Trump. Darn Trump. Uh-oh. That dog went poo-poo under my couch. That darn Trump. Trump did it. Trump did it. Trump did it. Little kids, Trump did it. Trump did it. What happened to your homework, son? I thought I told you to do your homework. I was going to do my homework, but then Donald Trump did it. So, yeah, I understand the idea that there are people who blame Trump for everything, even things that were already broke before Trump showed up. Look at the pollution we got. Trump did it. We've been having pollution for about forever. But damn it, you see what happened to Flint with the water? Yeah, that was already like that when Trump came. That happened under Obama. Yeah, but still. Shut up, you Trump supporter. So I understand what Trump derangement syndrome is. It's some people just lack logic at all. But there's a thing going on, guys. I don't know if you're aware of this. There are some people on the left kind of got a little batty with the Trump derangement syndrome. Like they've overcorrected. So they went from blaming Trump for everything to blaming Trump for nothing. Trump cut Meals on Wheels that feeds the old seniors in the homes. Well, sometimes you got to cut Meals for Wheels. What about what Obama did? I know what Obama did, but I'm talking about what Trump just did. Shut up. You and your blaming Trump derangements. No, I'm just saying why would you cut that? Why you need a space army? We can't care for our real army. Why would you do that? Stop picking on Trump. So these people have overcorrected to the point where Trump does nothing wrong. Trump can pull his pants down and just take a long, smelly dump right on the steps of the Capitol. And they'd be like, well, Obama, one time, he was walking as if he had to go to the bathroom, and they could tell. And so Obama did that, you wouldn't say nothing. Trump just took a smelly dump in front of the Capitol. You're blaming Obama and Pelosi. They did a lot of things, but they didn't make Trump drop a load in front of the Capitol and tell Robert De Niro to come eat it. Like, that was Trump who did that. See, so there's an overcorrection that's taking place. And I just want to bring it to your attention that it's not cool, Johnson. No, it's not cool. Like, you can blame Trump for stuff. Right? You don't he is a horrible president. He really is. He's bad. He sucks, man. Now, he's funny at times. I find him humorous. But I find him more humorous if he was a stand-up comedian instead of the president. Get it? I find a lot of his tweets funny. But it'd be funny if he was like, on Comedy Central or something. That's where he should be. But there are some things that Trump does, and this is what pissed me off. And it's not even about Trump. It pisses me off that the media makes everything he does, they try to make it seem like it's the worst thing in the world, when it's not. So I'm with you on that. And case in point, there's this thing going on about Home Alone 2, okay? I don't know if you heard about this. Did you know that Trump did a cameo appearance in Home Alone 2? Yeah, well, here goes the story. Check this out.
The extent of Donald Trump's cameo in the 1992 hit Home Alone 2, a Christmas classic that has somehow become a scandal. If you tuned out for a couple of days, I swear this is not The Onion, this is real life. Viewers watching that film on Canadian television this holiday season missed that cameo, as the 7-second scene is part of 8 minutes that were trimmed from the movie by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation to allow for commercial time. This happens all the time when they rebroadcast movies on TV. While the CBC says the edits were made in 2014 when it acquired the broadcast rights for the film, the move has recently sparked outrage, fake outrage, among the president's supporters who view the omission as politically motivated. Trump yesterday jokingly responded to the CBC for editing out his cameo, blaming Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Trump tweeted, "I guess Justin T doesn't like my making him pay up on NATO or trade." In a second tweet, the president wrote, "The movie will never be the same." Just kidding. Meanwhile, the president's oldest son, Donald Trump Jr., tweeted an article that called the edit absolutely pathetic. Jonathan Lemire, you drew the short straw, so I'm going to ask you about this. What can we say about this idiotic story? There are people on television and writing online who are pretending to be outraged about this. The CBC says they took the scene out in 2014, well before Donald Trump was even running for president, for commercial time, et cetera, et cetera. It's a common thing that happens, but somehow in a slow Christmas week, this has been turned into a political story.
First of all, Home Alone 2, not nearly as good as
not
the
even
original. Home Alone,
not even close.
The original Home Alone is a classic. Watched it recently with the kids.
Not even close.
That's a great movie. Home Alone 2, we'll spare them.
Listen, you had to make the sequel, made a lot of money the first time. I get it. The movie second one did well, but
printed money, opened big, kind of faded a little bit, but certainly made plenty of money. It's the latest in a long series of pretend outrages. I mean, it seems like the president himself, at least last night, had a pretty good sense of humor about it. We'll see if he decides to weigh in again down the road. But those around him, including his oldest son, you just see it as another moment to try to bash an ally or to sort of pit us versus them, to just sort of try to score some cheap political points or try to drive the news cycle or distract from whatever else is going on. You know, Macaulay Culkin, unfortunately, is the innocent bystander. And
Shut up. I don't want to hear any more about that. Okay, so my point is, like, Trump is making a joke, man. I don't think he really cares about his popularity in Canada as far as this movie. So dry movie. He was only in it for 7 seconds. At the time, he probably was really proud of it, but now he's probably like, ah. But the point is that they're talking about this, and they're going out to Trump supporters like Trump supporters get upset. Like, and I'm going to be honest, like, when I first thought about it, I kind of agreed that it was kind of petty to be upset that they took him out of a movie that, well, they left him in for like 1 second. He had like 6 or 7 seconds. They trimmed it down to like 1 second. And I thought, like, a Trump supporters, like, that's petty as hell. You're upset about that? But then I thought about it. I was like, wow, you know what? If you really like a person, and some people do really like Trump, yeah, you could take it personal. Be like, hey, why you trim out a president like our president, Johnson? So I can kind of see why people might feel that way. I mean, I would want them to keep President Bernie Sanders in the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would want that, yeah. Vice President Nina Turner, I would like for her to stay in the movie, So we got to keep it 100, right? Let's keep it real. But the thing is, Trump wasn't really upset about it. And they kind of floated it like he was, kind of, but he wasn't. I didn't find him upset about it. I don't remember Home Alone 2, so I don't care. But, Trump derangement syndrome, it's the thing, but TSS is also a thing. Trump sympathy syndrome. Next. Speaking of things, guys. Some people are trying to make Amy Klobuchar a thing. I don't really get it, right? Because, you know me, man. I have a problem with prosecutors. Doesn't much matter where part of the country they live in or what color they are, or how tall they are, or how short they are, or if they like the Temptations or if they like Garfunkel or whatever. I don't care. Like, just don't like prosecutors, man. You lock people up for a living. Who wants you around? You're a cop on steroids. I don't. So that and the fact she was a horrible prosecutor and never ever, prosecuted a cop. And she had a lot of opportunity to do so, too, when she was a prosecutor there in Minnesota. So, yeah, like 13 times she had a chance. And never once even brought charges. Not one time, Johnson. So, yeah, I got a problem with Amy Klobuchar, okay? But the thing that they're trying to do with her, though I admit, she had a pretty good showing last month. Well, last debate, she did pretty good in the 6th debate. I give her props for that. Good job. Way to go. But what they're trying to do now is trying to make her a real thing. Like she's got a shot, She's cooking with gasoline, man. This woman's on fire. Woo! And I don't know. And my proof is this clip. Here it is, Johnson.
The Midwest is not flyover country to me. I live here. I hope you saw the debate. Some of you.
Senator Amy Klobuchar believes now is her upswing. The Minnesota moderate crisscrossing 27 counties in Iowa.
Hurry up, get on the bus.
From rural to suburban venues.
We have 40-some days left. We have this incredibly important impeachment hearing. I don't know when I can come back.
As the Senate trial looms and the clock ticks.
Thank you, everybody. This will be our 79th county.
Inside the Klobuchar campaign, their come-from-behind strategy is to meet Iowans face to face.
It's one of the counties that Obama won and then Trump won.
And chip away at the more moderate candidates polling higher.
When people in those rooms say, why should I? When I have a new person like Pete Buttigieg or someone who's, tested like Joe Biden, why should I consider someone like you?
I think I'm the right package. I like to joke that 59 is the new 37 to Mayor Pete, that I'm someone that's in between the ages. I am a new generation of leader.
An argument of her Midwest experience, sharpened from the debate to the stump. She's won in Trump districts, urban, suburban, and rural. So when they heckle,
how are you going to pay for it?
She'll tangle to convince them.
A question was raised there from the peanut gallery about how we pay for things. I have actually outlined how I'm going to pay for every single thing that I have proposed.
I don't think that Donald Trump has some kind of monopoly on votes in rural America or in suburban America. Not for a second. And you saw a lot of suburban and rural voters that voted for women. They voted for Democrats, including independents and moderate Republicans. So the evidence is there that people want to check on this guy.
The hard part, getting Iowans to decide.
I like Pete and I like Amy. They've always been my top two.
What is going to push you to decide?
I get to meet Amy tonight.
After he's listened to her?
I probably went from 50-50, now I'm 78% for Amy.
We did find a number of voters pledging to caucus for Klobuchar, including Judith Anderson, won over just this week.
Her sense of humor and relating to people directly was a wonderful experience.
And did the debate have anything to do with it?
Oh, Lord, yes.
But overwhelmingly, many were like Jan Norris.
How many have I seen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There are just so many to choose from, she says.
17.
17 candidates. You've heard
I've personally heard speak, yes. Amy is definitely in the running.
Do you feel you're running out of time as far as making a decision?
Oh, no. February 2nd, maybe February 3rd.
That's when you'll make a decision.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
So for the candidate working on an upset, the slow grind continues.
In addition to all of this, there's an upcoming challenge ahead. You heard the senator refer to it.
Did I hear that guy right? He said he was trying to choose between Pete and Amy. We just found the whitest person in America, Johnson. Those are the type of white people that call the cops on black people that are shopping. Oh, it's shopping! Got a black guy walking around. What's he doing walking? Oh, I saw a black baby breathing. Who told you to breathe here? Who let you in here? When people, like, when we wonder, we're like, how the hell do we end up in this big mess? How we get all this income inequality? How all the schools become like predatory lenders? How all the payday loan sharks pop up? How everybody end up working a gig job with no benefits? People going, hey, you're an independent contractor. Yeah, but I can't get sick. Yeah, but you can quit anytime. Yeah, but that's because I don't work nowhere. Then my car breaks down and I'm screwed. I'm unemployed and I'm homeless. This is how you get it. You get people like this guy. This guy right here. And the lady said she listened to 17 candidates. You listen to John Delaney for real. I mean, you actually sat down and listened to John Delaney talk. Man, yo, how many cats do you own? Do you have nothing else to do? Nothing. I had a friend that was an EMT, right? Right on the ambulance. Sometimes the seniors would call them just because they were lonely. And I thought, oh, isn't that nice? These are the type of people that call the EMTs just because they want someone to talk to that day. Have somehow chased everyone else out their life. Get out of here, you bastard. You're going to need me one day. No, I'm not. I'm never going to need you. Get the hell out of here. You want to date that Puerto Rican. Get out of here. Screw you, Bob. Screw you. 20 years later, I've fallen and I can't get up. This is our 4th time this week, Mr. Cornwallis. Yes, I know, but I can't get up. I'm going to go watch Amy Klobuchar give another speech. Amy Klobuchar, and as much as I want to make fun of Amy Klobuchar because she sucks in a lot of ways, you know, her most exciting policy is Pell Grants. Yeah, those have been around since the 80s, Johnson. I know, but we could just, like, you know, add 3 more percentage of those and people will be good. I'm only going to talk about things I know I can get done. She, like, negotiates against herself. Like, I'm selling a car for $5,000. She comes in like, well, I'm going to give him 6. I only wanted 5. Yeah, but I'll take 6 and not a penny more. I'll give you 6, but not a penny more, Mr. Blackwood. Okay. That's how Amy Klobuchar, that's how her campaign is against the establishment. It's like, shouldn't you say 4? Nope. Sold. And as much as I want to give her continual amounts of grief, I know she took her anxiety medication. She shook a lot less this time out. Kind of important if you're going to run for president. And don't feel bad that she's stressed out running for president. Hey, look, guys, being president is a big deal. It should be a hard-ass job to do. Not everybody should be president. There are people upset. You don't like Amy. I don't have to. I'm under no obligation to like any candidate, okay? None at all. All right? There's only been 45 presidents. It's a very rare job. It's not like being crossing guard at the local elementary school. Okay, it should be hard as hell to be president. It's not for everybody. Hell, she's in the Senate. All right, that's hard as hell to be a senator too. Okay, so she's done pretty good. I should not feel bad for mocking someone who's really reaching above their pay grade. I'm sorry. It's what it is. But the caveat to all that is she can take a few votes away from Joe Biden. I'm all right with it, Johnson. Yeah, if she can take a couple of digits off to Joe Biden, if she can embarrass Pete Buttigieg a little more, you know, hit him where it hurts, I'm cool with that. You know, I support that, but I won't vote for her, though. I won't vote for her. But I respect the fact that you can hurt Biden a little. Imagine how bad the country has to be they want to elect this guy, Joe Biden. Well, listen right here. Hold on right now. Hold on right now. First thing first. First thing is this. Listen, I never said that what I was saying was right. What I was saying was, you know, what I was saying it because I was saying it because it was the right thing to say at the time I said it. Number 2. Second thing is that when I'm talking, don't be listening to what I'm saying. Just look at my eyes and see how angry I am when I'm talking because that's really where it's at. And number 3, the third thing, the thing that I was going to say, like I told him about the pumpernickels bread slices that we had that time when I was with Obama and the president back in the Obama and Biden administration, I told you, I said, look at me, I'm mad, I'm pissed off, and come on, man, listen, and something. I'm angry. Cut it out, Bernie. Just cut it out. Sit your ass down, Bernie. I'm gonna do push-ups. We'll do some push-ups. Let's get it going, man. Let's get it on, man. Let's do some push-ups. Want to go outside the parking lot and fight? Want to do that? Want to fight? One day, I hope somebody says, yeah. Yeah, you old bastard. Get your ass out here. Get your ass. Come on, you Botox face. Get out here, you mannequin. Get out. Let's do it. Let's do it, punk ass. Let's do it. Joe, a little bit of pee ran down his leg. Oh. Well, I'm just joking when I said I was going to fight. Hey, first things first. When I said I was going to fight you, I was just joking. I'm joking about the fight. I didn't mean it. I kid a lot. Ask Barack. I kid. I joke. All right, that's it, guys. Amy Klobuchar. Now we're going to open up phone lines. Let me go ahead and take the first call, guys. First thing we want to do is read comments, then we take phone calls because some of the comments seem like they go away if I don't read them. So did the people leave comments that I need to read in these comments just to do 99 Nation? Delicious cornbread, Johnson. Mm-hmm. Let's make sure we take the Fluffy's Establishment cornbread. And, sir, it's nothing but the whole truth here. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the super chat. Bravo on the Nina, Bill, interviews. Great work, bro. Thank you, man. Wolf, I appreciate you. 99 Nation, Van Jones hung out with Trump Jr. via tweet about it. Ugh. For real? David Melford. Tim, I'm glad you stood your ground debating on the air with Sam Cedar 2 years ago. Well, yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you bringing that up, man. Mike Lewis, what's up? Sean Graham, I donate to hear the truth and the laugh, so bonus. Thank you, Sean. You the man, Sean. 99 Nation, sure, take my money and disagree with me right now. Hey, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, man. Hey, it's all love. Thank you, brother. Chongo Ravello. Hey, you. 99 Nation, odd how blasé mainstream media is covering Bernie all of a sudden. Yeah, it's a little creepy, isn't it, Johnson? It's a little creepy that they're covering him all of a sudden. I'll take it, though. Sean Graham says more polling supports Trump has 2020 locked. Dems are going to have to reform to survive after he's reelected. Some candidates seem keenly aware and are doing unpopular things to be on the right side of history present. God, I disagree. Hopefully somebody will call in and I'll be able to elaborate on that. Richard Mays, I don't believe Biden's leading. The mainstream polls are propaganda. It will be Bernie versus Biden down the stretch. Warren and Biden are imploding. Bernie can bring this home, regardless of mainstream media. And 99 Nation Videos donated again. Thank you so much for donating. Thank you for being here, guys. I'm going to go to my first call. First call in the queue. 470, number 470, you are live.
What's up, Tim Black?
Hey, Dave, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and everybody out there. I hope everybody's having a great time of it. Wow, I had a whole list here. I don't even know what to pick. The first thing I wanted to say, since it's the holidays and everything, is congratulations to you, to everything you've been through. Man, I'm so proud of you and everything you've done. And I just want to say I'm glad that you are the person I thought you were when I first started listening to you.
Wow.
And so I just wanted to say thank you for that. If anybody isn't giving to this guy, they need to be supporting you fully on here and Patreon. But anyway, look, take your pick. What has your government done that's stupid today? A space force, but no college. A space force and no college.
Yep.
Call it free college for everybody is 0.5%, almost 0.5% on anything. Doesn't matter. So, not in this case. Wall Street speculation. They would never even know it was there or not there. And that's free tuition for everybody in the entire country. So we can't have that for 0.5%. But we got a space force, which it's like 20%, bigger military or something absolutely insane. But no college for you.
Right.
Right? So you're not fucking going to the moon because they're not letting high school graduates fly spaceships last time I checked. Right? So I don't get. Look, this is just a continuation of last week's call. I don't get it. Why are you supporting Donald Trump? He's not building a space force for you. No, he's not. I mean, it's just astounding how people don't see the full scope. That corporations keep squeezing their employees, right, to get everything they can. And those are the people that are running the government. So the government is squeezing all the citizens for everything it can get. And you hired a billionaire who's basically Mr. Corporation. The Trump brand. I mean, he is their representative. He is not on your side. A lifetime, this Democrat his whole life, donated to Clinton, hung out with all the people that the right hates his whole life. That's your president. So I had so many things to bring up, but that's just the ignorance is grotesque. I don't get it. But look, I mean, there are American brothers and sisters, so, I mean, I would really like to see Bernie Sanders defeat this guy. I can't even begin to describe what that would be like.
Right.
I mean, this guy is not your friend. And here, look, I'll just make this one point and I'll get out of here, Tim, because I think it illuminates kind of what I'm hitting at. I mean, he's not building the Space Force for you. You don't get college. You don't go. You do all the grunt work so the rich can go to the moon. That's how that's going to work out. And, 3/4 of the Senate and the House keep voting no on health care for its citizens of America, which means 75% of the people in charge of the lawmaking, the laws of the land, vote every year knowingly leaving people to die in a healthcare system that's a budget decision that can easily be made in the other way. And these people know that people are dying. And I tell you, I mean, if somebody will vote to leave a human being to die behind a wall, as soon as they know they can get away with it and open, they're going to do it then too. Because it takes a certain kind of person to say, we're going to start a space force while 500,000 people go bankrupt in my own country every year going to the doctor. I mean, it costs like $5,000 for an ambulance ride. So, yeah, guys, I think Bernie is really, if he gets the nomination, Tim, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable. Wow. I'd love to see that, man. With that, I'm going to get out of here. I love y'all.
Love you too, Dave, man. Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys. Interesting stuff. Space Army. Next call. 574. 574, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Black people can't drive a spaceship. That's why we don't have any of them doing it. They just can't control it. They panic a little bit, and then they put the headphones on and they start listening to that old ass rap music from Soul Train, right? And you have to keep your attention when you're driving a spaceship. So even a hillbilly is probably going to be better at driving a spaceship than a black man. And I don't know why that is, and I'm not racist at all. I ain't even had a slave since 1996. I believe it. But when I finally let the last one go in 96 there. So I'm not racist. I'll tell you this. I voted for Obama. I did. I voted for him.
You should have voted for some jokes. Who is this, man? What's your comment, brother?
I voted for Obama.
Okay.
And I went to his inauguration. I drove my pickup to his inauguration right there in Washington, D.C. and stuff. And So I'm at a family immigration, fucking dog, and you know what I saw? A big old Ferris wheel. I did.
This is why brothers and sisters should not sleep together. And this is why incest is wrong. Because it produces this. You say, Tim, what's wrong? Why come a sister and brother can't sleep together? Because they have babies. And their babies turn out like my friend who just called up. He can't help it that he has no talent, that he would have to resort to using the word nigger to get a joke, because nothing he said was landing. He had no setups in his jokes. He didn't even know the structure of a joke. It was bad joke after bad joke after worse joke. Right in a row. At least it's consistently bad. So, yeah. $586, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
586.
That's
Guess
you,
that's
my.
me, eh?
That's you, my friend. How you doing?
What up? Big Baby Zubas, what up, though?
What's going on?
Not much, Tim Black. I got a couple things, really. First, I must retort about the Space Force. I personally believe that we need a Space Force. I think Bernie should support the Space Force. I'm a Bernie supporter. I think Bernie would do great in the expansion of peaceful means of using the Space Force, such as cleaning up satellites and preventing asteroids to hit us, because whether we like it or not, Bruce Willis is only going to be around so long to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
There you go.
So,
there you go. That was good. Why come you couldn't have talked to the last caller and told him how to structure his joke?
Because I'm not a racist piece of crap. But I'm not going to get into that one. But I really do. I mean, it wasn't me that was convinced of this. It was Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the most intelligent African-American individuals in the history of humankind. He really articulated the needs for it, and I think he's one of the main proponents behind Trump creating it, because somebody had to make it happen. Unfortunately, it was Trump, because, well, Trump likes to have things and go, yeah, I am the Trumpiest. I do all the Trump things, and I put my names on them, and it is fine. I will have the land of Trump offices built immediately next to my Mar-a-Lago. But anyway, so I want to talk about next year real quick. I think next year is a repeat of history. It's a repeat of the 1928 election, I believe, between Herbert Hoover and FDR. We're about to see the second progressive era come into play. But it's going to take us, of course, we, the people. Because, I mean, everything that has come up to this point is a complete repeat of the first Gilded Era of the turn of the century. Last time, massive income equality, all these ridiculous things going on, yellow journalism, which is now fake news, to completely destroying people's ideals and skewing them into thinking all these blah, or whatever you want to call it. The useless information that they post. All these things are coming together along with all these bad situations, such as the tent cities, which are the same as Hooverville back in the day. All these different effects are all coming together to show me that history is about to repeat itself. So it's going to take a man of the caliber of Bernie Sanders to really change this country, and for the better. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. Because the specific part was, when I was looking through some of the bills that FDR made, he actually did put in a wealth tax in the 1930s to try to, reconstitute the whole industry and economy since it crashed. And during that wealth tax was only aimed at one person in particular, John D. Rockefeller. So at that time, John D. Rockefeller is the same as equivalent as Bill Gates. He owns all this wealth and everybody else doesn't. And, well, FDR said, we're going to tax that wealth. And they fought against it, as people always do, and eventually repealed it because they said it wouldn't work. And what do you know, they repealed it, so now they say that it won't work. But I digress. So I see all these different things that happened from the 1890s up until about the 1920s. And it's all a repeat of what's happened from the 1990s to about now with the Great Recession, Great Depression. It's already happened. It's still happening. They can lie all they want, but it's still happening. So if we elect Bernie Sanders, we will repeat history, and we will rebuild America as the greatest nation. And it will increase diversity, all that fun stuff, because one of the programs, the federal jobs program, back when it was the Works Progress Administration, had proven that it had put about double the amount of African American people enter into the program than people of Caucasian or white nature, if you will. So it shows that there was a ton of uplifting of black people out of poverty because they were just like, here, you are an untrained male. Let's give you a job building something like a dam in Washington, which still generates electricity to this day. So doing all these things that have come in the past, all the way up to today, the next year is going to be the most important year of all of our lives. I honestly believe this. And that's why I'm telling you this right now. That's why I'm telling you viewers this. I don't see it on the YouTube. I'm just on the But I just wanted to get that out there for you, John. Hope you don't mind me doing the Johnson. But
all right, Johnson.
That was the mainstay of my stuff. So I'll let other people talk.
All right,
I've
guys.
said enough, and I just wanted to get that out there. Thank you.
You're
Appreciate the platform.
You're welcome, my brother.
All right, be
You're
safe.
You be safe too, man. Happy New Year. Yeah, kind of stuck on the whole the smartest African American Neil deGrasse, the smartest African American. Like he just be a smart guy. I don't know if we polled all the African Americans at the same time to measure their IQ level or whatever. Just call him a smart guy, But anyway, other than that, good call, man. I guess. Oh boy. What a night. It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? Come on, guys. 763, I love you. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 763.
Hey, Tim. My name is Danny. I'm calling from Las Vegas. I'm originally from Minnesota, though.
Vegas. What's on your mind, man?
Well, I got a few things. I guess you're talking about Amy Klobuchar a little bit. I've known her a while, so being from Minnesota. I guess it was a good joke you could have made about her that you forgot. She once determined that frozen pizza is a vegetable because it has tomato paste in it so that schools can serve it because obviously she's taking donations from the company that makes that pizza. So, yeah. She's a piece of work. Saw your interview with Nina Turner yesterday. That was amazing. I loved it. But the main reason I'm calling is my sister. She's she's always kind of been a liberal. Lately though, she's got herself a nice job and she's making some money, and now she's a total centrist, thinking about voting for Biden. Maybe even going Republican. And I guess I'm looking for your advice, man. Like, what should I tell her?
Wow, bro. That's a tough one, man. Has she told you what policies that makes her attracted to Biden?
That's what pisses me off. She doesn't know anything about politics. She's just like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be making some money, so I better be a Republican now. Or...
Right, tax breaks. Right. Wow, brother.
I mean, Like, what should I say to her? Like, what can I say?
Wow, man. Look. I'm gonna leave that one open to the forum, man. To everybody who calls up, they can chime in. I'll just say this: it's gotta be something that she cares about. Like, you know her better than I do, obviously. So what I tell people to do is sprinkle some facts on them. So you pick one area that you know she cares about. Maybe she likes clean air. And you like clean air, right? You know what's more important than money or a big fat tax break? Being able to breathe, clean air, clean water. Trump's gutting the EPA. Yeah, he went back and like all these restrictions we had on these companies, what they could do with their like waste. Like he like took those all off. Or like he like released all of the restrictions on companies on how they get rid of their waste products and stuff like that. Yeah. So like he basically wanted to make it so the corporations can make more money, but the expense is we live shorter lives. That's one reason why he wouldn't want to vote for Donald Trump, or any flavor of a Trump or person who does that. So that would be a good arguing point because everybody likes breathing, everybody likes water. Even if they don't like it, they need it. So that'd be a good way to go. All right, brother. 407. 407, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's up, man? It's John, and I just wanted to quickly say that in a time when nearly every mainstream news outlet is basically total garbage, you are the shining light of my day and my YouTube life. Super quickly, before I ask my main question, about the other guy, about the relative and Joe Biden, I think sometimes, listen to what she has to say, and, well, sometimes just got to smile and nod and just keep moving. Some people you just got to, give them the presidential handshake, tell them they're a great American, and then just, move on to people that are more likely to vote for somebody else. But if I were to not be super funny and be really real, like, I'd say that, listen, tell her this, that, okay, so she's making more money. Okay, that's cool, but it's not going to mean much when a robot takes over your job. It's not going to mean much when you have to change where you live because of the climate change. It's not going to mean anything at all. That's cool and all. Tax breaks are great. Tax breaks are okay or whatever, but until, life actually happens, and then, of course, you have a whole other side of the population that hates you. But other than that, I wanted to bring a scenario to you, and I wanted to hear what you think about it. And when we look at the whole political kind of like, look at it and everything, like I'm a Bernie supporter all the way. I actually just recently signed up to be a vice captain for his campaign and everything else. And I really strongly believe that he can win. I really believe that this is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. That doesn't mean we get to kick back, but that means we got to go even harder now because, they're going to they're going to throw everything at him now because they realize he is an existential threat. But what I wanted to get at was that when it comes down to the primary, now, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, candidates can actually transfer their votes to another candidate. I believe that's true. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
they're delegates.
My word to people like Elizabeth Warren, Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, listen, you probably have a very important part. You can either side with Biden and more than likely you may not ruin, because this is the tricky part about doing something like that, I think, is that on the one hand, if you side with Bernie, that's going against the establishment. So the establishment will never forgive you. And, that's you'll be quote unquote out of the job, or people will make it harder for you to maneuver. However, the worst of that is that if you realize that you are not going to win the presidency, but you have votes that could help this man, you need to transfer that over to my man Sanders, man, because if you don't do that, then you're going to have a whole group of people that are not going to want to see you elected. So in the long run, you can either side with the people, or I think you just side with what you think is your immediate interest versus the long interest of a long political career. Because that's what a lot of these establishment people say. They're like, oh, it's not in your best, political career's interest. Like, okay, it may not be for the next 2 years, but when I run a grassroots campaign on the fact that I supported somebody that the people believed in, the people will remember that. And I'd like to have your feedback about that.
Okay. All right, John. Well, look, John, thank you for the phone call, man. Yeah, if it comes down to it, like some of these states, bro, if you don't get over 15% of the vote, then it's like you didn't even run. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be tough for a lot of these candidates. When the time comes, they will have an opportunity to put their delegates on a candidate to pass those delegates on, and if they don't do that, or if they, depending on what they decide to do with that, will determine what our support level of them will be in the future. So yeah, I believe that that's reasonable, right? There'll be a political decision they make, a political calculation. And if they go against the will of the people, sort of like Amy did back when Bernie won Minnesota. A lot of people don't talk about that. Bernie won Minnesota, and what happened? Amy Klobuchar and Al Franken gave their delegates to Hillary. Even though the will of the people, they overrode the will of the people. So I think you know that, though, because you're from Minnesota, right? Yeah. Yes, that's probably why you brought up the issue to begin with, because you know what Amy did. Oh, man. Yeah. Good question. 678. 678, you're live. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Tim Black? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. What's going on?
Hey, I got 2 points. The first one is I'm still stuck on the whole Obama and Trump thing. I did a post the other day about, and I got some feedback, but it was kind of controversial, and I basically said that to me, as a black man, hopefully you'll understand this, but when everybody's been, all we hear is Trump. It's kind of one of the reasons I kind of like almost, I kind of unsubscribed a little bit from TYT, and TYT is a big network. Of course I still watch them, but I had to unsubscribe. It was just too much Trump. And I just want to say that I think if we focus on Trump too much, we lose, we're kind of losing focus, because Trump is going to turn stuff into a circus. And what I put to the people is that, to me, I see liberals like Obama. Liberals like Obama, to me, I mean, I would never vote for Trump. Of course, that's just a given. People say, oh, why you don't talk about Republicans? Because everybody knows Republicans are horrible. So why waste the conversation? Let's get with these corrupt Democrats. And so I say that, I have more disdain for Obama than I do Trump. Trump is horrible. He's a xenophobe, homophobe, all of that stuff. But, to me, in my opinion, I'm from Griffin, Georgia. I'm from the hood. I talked to you before. But Obama, to me, Obama is more of a threat to me and, to things that need to be like my sister recently got diagnosed with cancer, And so people out here in the real world are still, while this primary is going on, are dealing with real issues. And to see that Obama, is kind of coalescing around, having his 200-plus people endorse Warren and, having talks about trying to, get Warren to be the stick in the side for Bernie, which is all she's ever been. It's liberals like that, I despise people like liberals like Obama and the Clintons and people of that ilk more than I do, Trump, because, Trump is an enemy we know. That's the devil we know. But Obama, these people behind the scenes, they're trying to stop Medicare for all, Medicare, which will help my sister. You know what I'm saying? Obama, when he did his whole, when he tried to get his big plan, he tried to cut Social Security, what my grandma used, and so that's just the point I want to, get that out of there. There are some of us that do believe that these liberals like Obama are worse. They all, in my opinion, they are worse than the people like Trump, because even the gift of Trump, the unseen gift of Trump is our organization. Do you think we would be as organized if Hillary Clinton would have taken the nomination? And now we have a real chance to elect Bernie Sanders. And, it makes you think that the media is, I think what the media has been doing, they just started covering Bernie Sanders and how, he's, we could have been seeing this months ago about how, the coalition and all the numbers and stats about how he's really the guy that can win. But the media is just now coming to this, like, once I seen the post, I was kind of shocked that they would be telling people, because, that helps us, but I don't think they're trying to help Bernie. I think they're just doing the warning shots where, they're about to come after the guy. But, I want to know, like, what do you think about that, the whole Obama, the elite liberal, because, ML, I don't know if ML, I think it was Malcolm X warned us about, the liberal elite and how they're more of a threat. People like Obama are more of a threat to working class people than when we got people like Trump in office, because he actually forces us to organize and, have real solidarity. And, I want to know what you think about that.
All right, my brother. Well, thank you. That was a great question. A lot of people are feeling your call, man. And that comment, moderate Democrats, right? That was MLK, right? MLK quote. There we go. This was the quote you're referring to regarding the moderate or the white liberals. I must confess that over the past few years, I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in his stride toward freedom is not the white citizen's counselor or the Ku Klux Klaner, but the white moderate, who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice. So they would rather keep the status quo because everything's calm than to change things because things have become in disarray. But you saying that you have more of a resentment towards Obama than, say, Trump is because you never put any stock in Trump. You didn't believe in Trump, right? So Trump lied to his people. He told people, I'm going to go drain the swamp. Then he brought more swamp creatures. Trump said, I'm going to go, fight for the working man. Then he fought for the rich and the powerful in Wall Street. He did the same thing Obama did. So there are Trump supporters mad as hell, just like you feel about Obama. But the reason why you don't feel that way about Trump is because you didn't vote for him, so you're emotionally disconnected to Trump. He's like a clown. He's a funny clown on the TV. He's a cartoon. He's a bad cartoon, but he's still a cartoon character. The reason why you're so upset about Obama is because you actually believed in a guy for a while. You actually had hope. He kept saying, have hope. Listen here. We're going to take all these people. We're going to go up to here. We're going to fight. When I was on the streets of Chicago, working on the streets of Chicago with the kids, and I was up there with Michelle. I said, Michelle, we got to help these kids. These kids, they need our help. And, you believed him. When he said he was a volunteer, that he was a community activist, that he was going to fight for us. You took him by his word, and he betrayed us to a great extent. So that's very much reasonable. I feel the same way about Obama. He let so many people down. Then he did something else that's even more sinister than what Trump's done. He was able to use his blackness, something that has caused black people to be treated as second-class citizens in their own country, used as labor, discarded without any support, any even kill, any justice whatsoever, then told that they're lazy because they don't work because you want them to work for free when they built the country for free. These stereotypes are still there today. Obama used that whole legacy against us for his own self-enrichment and to help corporations and the wealthy. And then while he was in power, told us don't ask him for nothing. So, there's a whole list of reasons why. And even still after all of that, he's still talking. He's still talking to this day, he's still talking about nothing. He's a special kind of person. So he's a flim-flammer who fooled a lot of people, hurt a lot of people, and is unapologetic about it. And right now he's telling a lot of young people how don't have purity tests. Don't have any ethics. Don't have any level of responsibility. And don't hold people accountable for what they do. I mean, when it's him or powerful people, don't do it. So, yeah, you got a lot of reasons, and I understand all of them, brother. And there's nothing wrong at all. In my view, I agree with you that there's a special kind of resentment for a person who uses you to get in power and then turns around and does the bidding of the wealthy. And then points their finger at you and blame you for why he couldn't get stuff done. It's horrible, man. But thank you for the phone call, my friend. I appreciate you. I really do, man. I really do. Okay, I'm going to go to 425. 425, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim, hopefully you've had a very good holiday.
My friend. Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, you're so popular today. So many different mindsets calling in. And your feed is almost reaching 1,000 viewers, so very good for you.
Well, thank you, my brother.
I think that the growing consciousness about this whole Space Force is coming to fruition. Aren't you curious about what is going on?
What's going on, man?
You want to ask Dmitry, don't you? You want to ask me the answers, and I will give them to you, because I like you so much. So you have seen Trump recently, right? He was talking to Navy. Oh, good job after so many have left the Pentagon. But you did not look into this, did you, Tim?
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, that's a shame, because you could be ahead of curve for Trump's general election plans. Don't you want to know?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
He is planning to have New Age imperialism with these crazy spacecrafts that will do just about anything you can imagine with weaponry. And the implications of being in a spot over your city in such a short amount of time frame is, well, really quite alarming. To the point, even Putin, you remember this, don't you? Everybody say, oh, what a crazy Russian he is, right? Talking about the aliens, talking about, you should release this technology, Obama. You should do it or I will. You remember this story, don't you?
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, and not only this, but CNN has Tic Tac UFO video. Look it up on YouTube. You're on it too. That is the craft. That is what they're planning to wheel out. They are not going to the moon. They want a spacecraft that can zoom across the world and be able to be on top of your city in no time flat and spread imperialism with the fear and contention that would shake your babies awake. Are not enough drone attacks on the babies? Not enough to show you what these people are capable of? This is orange psychopath in the White House. So you, Tim, you do one up for humanity. You start looking into this because it's all over with the dots to connect. This is up to you. This is your network. Spread truth. And have a very wonderful rest of your new year.
Dimitri, my brother, thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Man, I'm telling you, man. I got some great callers, man. They are creative. I tell you. Dimitri, all the way from Siberia. 865, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, am I live?
Yes.
Oh, hi. My name is Stephanie. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. And I was just calling to get your take on what do you think, there's a generational gap, I feel, with, the generation that I'm growing up. I guess, a millennial. And my parents are, kind of baby boomers or born in the 60s. And anyways, they are staunch Trump supporters. Now, I started watching your show back when Bernie was running before because CNN, MSNBC, none of them would give Bernie the time of day. And your show and Jimmy Dore, his show, y'all, TYT, y'all were the only ones, even mentioning him. And so, anyways, I'm just, so glad you're here and doing your show. But I wanted, to see, how can we, bridge the gap with, our generation and, the baby boomer generation, because they talk about crazy, Trump's going to save the world. It's what has Trump done for you? He hasn't done anything for you, and Bernie's here talking about he's going to raise the minimum wage, Medicare for all. I got student loans, and, I didn't grow up in a rich family, and so, I pay those every month, and it's hard. And, I feel like most of America is living 90% actually, living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. But they vote for somebody like Trump. And it's Trump doesn't care about you, Trump's not here to help, the weakest among us, to help, bring up the average person. And, heck, his neckties are made in China. And he talks about, investing in America. And, how do we bridge the gap? I think that's going to be the big thing in this election is bridging the gap in those communities that are uninformed, that only watch Fox News, and don't really listen when you give them numbers and tell them, what's really going on. And what amazes me is some of these, right-wingers, including some of my family, they claim to be Christians, but I'm going to tell you, did Jesus charge when he healed the blind, when he healed the sick? Did he charge them? No, he didn't ask for any money. I think we should all pull together and help each other. Instead of sending 60% of our paycheck or our taxes to wars, foreign wars, we'd be investing in people for their education, health care. I just don't understand why so many people, twice my age, they don't even understand that. And they would benefit from what Bernie's wanting to, bring to this country. So I just wanted to, know your ideas about how you think we can do that, with our friends, our families.
Right. Well, look, I want to thank you for calling, my friend, because it's an important question. It's a good question. You want to talk to people and try to educate them and inform them about the opportunities that we have and what you think Bernie represents, what Bernie brings to the table. It makes sense, Like we've been saying all night, though, I think you pick one thing that's important to them. And you let them know that the importance, I would say Medicare for all. Anybody who's, a baby boomer has to be concerned with health, got to be concerned with the fact that, every year 500,000 families, people go bankrupt for no other reason than they got sick and they didn't have adequate health insurance. That's a lot of people, So when we talk about Medicare for all, we're talking about people living healthier, longer lives. There's really no price tag you can put on that. But when they say, well, how do you pay for it? Just remind them that we spend more on our military than the next 10 countries combined. And if we started trimming that and also cut the waste out of our insurance companies, and we also stop letting them gouge us, that number drops dramatically. It's about how much the healthcare costs. We'd actually save money. So when they talk about how much it would cost for Medicare for all, they leave out that we're already spending an exorbitant amount already. Like we would be saving money. Also, you can share with them my video with Nina Turner. I think Nina Turner does an exceptional job of explaining Medicare for all and what people get for that and what that's really about. So Medicare for all or something, whatever you think is important to them. I start with one topic and just inform them about that one topic. And just say, hey, one of Bernie's chief policies that's different than Trump is Medicare for all. Or student debt. You know how much student debt I got, Mom? Dad, check this out. Well, this would have enabled me to wipe that out. And the reason for it is, well, if you wipe it out, I'm still going to spend money, but it'll be on other things. It's not like people save money on student debt and they just put it in the bank and save it all. They would probably do something else like buy a car, or maybe you'd buy your first apartment, or I don't know, maybe you develop more hobbies. I don't know. But the money more than likely is going to go back into the economy. It just won't go to the university. So hope that give you some ideas. What we tend to do is throw a whole bunch of stuff to the table or to the wall when we're talking to people about Bernie, for instance, instead of just picking one thing. And just give them enough. Don't think you got to give them all, just a little bit and say, hey, and you could go look here and find out more information about it, check it out. Maybe you could print out Bernie's policies and just leave it laying around. Have it laying around the house for them, and or something like that. Like maybe they'll read it. Put it in the bathroom next to the Reader's Digest. All right, I love you. Thank you for calling. Happy New Year. 619, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, Tim.
Hey.
Tim?
Hey, how
Hi.
you doing? Hey.
Wow, I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a Wolfpack member, first-time caller.
Hey.
I love your show.
Who are you?
Well, my name is KJ.
KJ. Well, thank you, KJ.
I follow you on Twitter.
Cool. What's going on? You ready? Are you ready for 2020 or what?
I can't wait for this year to be over, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm ready. I'm a
90
super
seconds.
Bernie fan and everything, but after your Amy Klobuchar video, I'm starting to have second thoughts, dude. Is she the great white hope or what?
She's amazing.
I mean, think of all the white families that can be brought back together. No,
60
I
seconds.
can't even say that seriously. She sucks. I hope she drops out. I love you, and I just wanted to call and
make me laugh. Thank you so much, KJ. I appreciate you. I appreciate it, sister.
Yeah, thank you too.
Amazing.
All right, Bernie 2020.
You know it. Happy New Year to you, KJ. And she was funny. I still remember that guy who called up with all the racist jokes. She was funny, dude. See how that works? Study. Bone up. Become funny like KJ, That's what you got to do. All right. That's what you got to do. You got to work on it. You know? Sasha Malia, get a joke book. Hey, get this guy a joke book.
10 seconds.
All right. Michelle, get this guy some jokes. This guy's not funny at all. This guy could make a laughing hyena laugh. All right, 267. What happened to my 267 number? 267 hung up. You messed up my rotation, 267. 423, though. 423 is in the house. 423, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What is your comment?
Hi, Tim.
Hey, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Tim, my name is Chris. I'm a big fan. I'm calling from North Georgia. I live basically in Chattanooga. It's right over the Georgia-Tennessee line.
Gotcha.
And super Bernie fan.
Woo!
I was actually a Georgia delegate in 2016. And you've had some great calls tonight. There was one guy that called a few calls back from Griffin, Georgia.
Okay.
And he made a comment that I've heard several times, and it's so true. He said something like, you know, it was somewhat a gift when Trump beat Hillary. Maybe not a gift. I don't know what you would call it. But, you know, I really think that our movement has really transcended. I think 2016 we laid the groundwork, and now we're really hauling ass now, and it's just wonderful. But one thing I do want to mention is, yeah, of course, keep canvassing, keep making calls. A girlfriend and me and a girlfriend are going to be driving up to Iowa the week before the caucus, so I'm really pumped about that. But one thing I want to put out there is I think everybody needs to start thinking about delegate selection, because last time when I was chosen as one of the delegates, my counterpart that was chosen actually was a Hillary person, but he ran as a Bernie delegate. So I think they've still got some tricks in the bag for us. So I think now is the time that we really need to be thinking about delegates and, you know, just getting as many people organizing to go to your local, you know, congressional elections to support that particular delegate that's wanting to go, or however many delegate seats you get. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to start organizing, and I'm going to try to go again. But in 2016, when I was a delegate, it was horrible. I was bitten by a Hillary delegate.
Bitten?
I know that
sounds crazy.
Atrocious, and it really was, but it was just unbelievable. But I'm willing to take one for the team and go again if I get to go. So
wow.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there about, you know, everybody start thinking about, you know, if you're wanting to be a delegate, start looking at the process and when your dates are that you have to have your application turned in, because I really think, you know, I'm not really sure about the process this time. I've heard that after the first vote, or I don't even know the process this time, but I'm really excited, and thank you so much. This was my first call into your show. I love your show, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing.
Well, thank you, Chris, for calling up.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, sister, and thank you for reminding people. You're right. It's important for people to get in front of this. So, guys, if you want to be delegates, consider it. Get involved. We all do our part, and maybe that would be your part. It'd be a good experience. Chris explained it. I hope you don't get bit by a Clinton supporter or a Joe Biden supporter, but look into it, okay? Thank you, Chris. 505, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim.
Hey.
Tim Black, we appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, my brother. Yes.
All right. Hey, we're a long-time supporter. I say long-time supporter. We've been supporting Patreon for a few months now.
Wow.
You produce a whole lot of value, bro.
Thanks,
you
brother.
create a whole lot of value, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Damn. Appreciate you.
I'm gonna get off the line and just feed up for other people. I dropped you a message in your personal Facebook box.
Okay.
If you could take a look at that. I sent the same message to James Langdon, running support out of Florida.
Okay.
Just giving y'all some heads up about what's getting ready to drop. TYT Network, we purchased Jenks iPad to name it. So next month I'm going to name Jenks iPad. I've already given the name. It's fightthepower.com. I haven't published a website yet, but I sent you a link to it in your private messages. Take a look at it. Give me some feedback, because your input is valuable to us.
Okay, brother.
And I'm going to get off the line now.
All right.
The name is Rise.
Rise. Okay, Rise. All right, Rise. Thank you, my brother. I'll check that out.
Kind of like the sun, but the sun's not rising and falling. The earth is spinning and revolving.
My brother. That's deep stuff, man.
Peace.
Peace, Rise. All right. Thank you, man. I'll check that out. Okay, 352.
Hey, Tim Black.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Tim Black.
What's up?
Hey, it's Mitchell. I've never called in before. I've never called anybody, so I'm excited. Mitchell from Florida, and I wanted to just tell you a quick story, and then why I think Bernie is the best to beat Trump. So the other day, I found a credit card on the ground, and I thought, I need to do the right thing. I gotta call it up and make sure it's canceled, and then cut it up. So I did that, gave back to the community, and it feels like the universe rewarded me because I found $20 on the ground. And I decided that I'm going to give $20.20 to Bernie January 1st, the new year, for Bernie 2020.
Wow.
So that's my quick story. But I just wanted to say I think that Bernie is the best to beat Trump because four people, 3 in my family and 1 friend, are not Democrats. My brother-in-law and sister are libertarians.
Okay.
And they voted for Ron Paul, so not exactly progressive. And they have said they trust Bernie and that they would vote for him. And they got registered as Democrats because they don't agree with him on guns and many issues, but they believe that he's fighting for them for health care, for student loan relief, for college education. They just they trust him. They don't have to agree with him on everything.
There it is.
And my mother, she was a Democrat all of her life. She became independent when she heard Obama go to Michigan, Flint, Michigan.
Wow.
He took a sip, or he pretended to take a sip of that dirty water, that lead water, and made a joke about, oh, it's okay now, you can drink it. And everybody was gasping because they were like, why would he do that? Yeah. The water is not okay. He is just doing the bidding of higher powers. And so she said she would never vote for Obama, for anybody in his administration. That includes Hillary. She did not vote for her. That includes Joe Biden. And I've been working with her, and she trusts Bernie too. She's like, yeah, I gave up on the Democrats, but I could vote for Bernie. So I got her registered in the Democratic Party, and it's only for Bernie. She's not voting for anybody else. No matter how much I try, she said only Bernie. And the last one is my friend is Republican. She's Puerto Rican, and she's staunchly pro-life. Because of that, she would never vote for a Democrat. However, she came to me recently because she had she works in the healthcare industry, but she had a problem recently. I don't really want to get into details, but she was hospitalized. It was an emergency, and she came out with this huge bill, very huge, or as Donald Trump would say, huge, or as Bernie would say, huge, and she could only pay for that by borrowing from her family. And she came to me, and she didn't really understand why it was so expensive. I explained it to her. I explained how these for-profit health insurance industries are capitalizing on us.
Yep.
How really we need more than Medicare for all. We need more like, I think, a nationalized health care system, because it's also the for-profit hospitals and the very greedy, not all doctors, but some doctors are very greedy and they manipulate the market. And that's why our health is so much more expensive in this country. So I explained that to her. Again, I don't talk politics with her at all usually because she's Republican, and I just want to stay on good terms with her because I love her. But she came to me and she said, well, I got lucky. My parents bailed me out. She's like, what about all those people that can't be bailed out? And I told her, they go homeless, they go bankrupt, they die. And she was heartbroken, and she turned to me, and I didn't say anything. I never brought up Bernie or anything to her. And she said, I could vote for Bernie. And I said, what? I thought you were pro-life. You would never vote for a Democrat. And she said, yeah, but I don't agree with him on everything, but I feel like he's fighting for us. And I said, I think so too. And she said, no, I think he's fighting with us, not just for us. So I'm just saying, I think Bernie has the best chance to beat Trump. And I love all the Johnsons on TVT, or TVTV. And I love you, Johnson, and Medicare for all Johnsons. And thanks for taking my call.
Well, thank you, brother. Have a happy New Year. And I'm glad your friend, I like your philosophy with your friend. Like we don't need to cancel people or shun people for their political beliefs. And you did the right thing. You said I don't usually talk politics with her because I love her and we disagree. So I don't want to make that a thing where we stop liking each other or stop spending time with each other. So I respect the hell out of that. And what you're describing about Bernie Sanders is something I hear a lot from a lot of people, that they don't agree with everything because they're on different, they see politics differently, but they believe that Bernie is a sincere person, that he has ethics, and he's not doing this for self. He really believes in Medicare for all, for instance. That's why he won't go in a back room and cut a deal to do something else. That's why I don't believe that Bernie's the type of person based on his. I don't think you can filibuster for 8 hours on the Senate floor and be a liar, doing it for show. I don't believe that you spend a career, spent 30, 40 years believing in the same stuff just for fun. I believe that that's who he is. And I don't think that a lot of the other candidates, and I can't think of another candidate who has that type of, that gives me that same type of feeling that I could trust, that even if I don't agree with everything, but that I know this person is genuine. I don't get that from anybody else. That's one of the reasons why I support Bernie. So thank you for sharing your experiences and your friends and your life with us. I think more people need to hear that, and I think you're right. I think Bernie kind of transcends ideology to a certain degree just based on, come on, man, he just does not appear to be playing a game. And some people play a game. Thank you for the phone call. 515, you're live. Freedom Friday, what's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah, my name is Tom.
Tom.
I so much appreciate your show, and you're just real, and I really appreciate it. One of the challenges I think we have in Iowa is, Klobuchar and the Buttigieg's appeal to people who are afraid. They're afraid that they see the Republicans and they're like, well, this will never fly in the general election, etc. But it's like, I wanted to say I'm actually a Yang supporter, but I don't think that Yang and Bernie are at odds. I think they're both sincere. And one of the new rules they have in the Iowa caucuses this year is you can only change one time. And so absolutely, I'm Yang. I support Yang because of his policies and his earnestness and his sincerity. But Bernie's a lion. He's a champion. And if I have to make a switch, absolutely, I'm going to switch to Bernie, and because I appreciate his supporters, and and I won't bite anybody.
That's a good one. That's a good one, brother. Thank you.
The one last thing is that Klobuchar clip that you showed. I can't imagine any less lack of enthusiasm amongst their supporters. It looks just like old white people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom, for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Just the guy's like, how you gonna pay for it? She's like, all right, someone from the peanut gallery. Why do they talk like that? It's like her and Joe Biden. They got the same bedside manner, don't they? You get angry when people ask questions. But yeah, Tom, like I hope at the end of the day we find ourselves being able to get behind the same candidate. And that's why I'm like, hey, Tim, you need to hold your fire on the Yang Gang. Because a lot of the people in the Yang Gang, what I've experienced, they're young people that are kind of idealistic. And they're brought into politics. Yang has done a good job on some of these folks, just bringing them into politics to begin with. And they like the idea of humanity first, and they're, like I said, idealistic. So they truly, a number of them really do believe in Andrew's philosophies. So I just think it's better to you catch more bees with honey than you do with salt, and maybe we can have a bigger picture view of what we want, the end game to be about. And sometimes it's hard to do because, we're human beings, and that's cool too, because it's a long road. We got a long ways to go, but we'll see, right? And, yeah. Thanks for the phone call, my friend. 786. 786, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, my name is Gabriel Reyes, and I'm calling from Miami.
My friend.
I just want a quick question. I just want a quick question. That do you think political correctness and anti-social justice wars is what made Trump president? Because I have a quick story that I used to have when I was in high school. I used to have friends that were considered liberal, I'll say, and they're practically liberal and everything. But once Trump came in 2015 about the border wall, they completely changed. They were pro. Now they were pro wall. They were pro life. They were pro everything. And once I mentioned something about, let's say, about Medicare for all, they would just call me a commie. They'll call me a flat-out socialist. That they'll call me a Mao supporter. Oh, why you don't go to China? And half of families are like that too. I'm just like, first of all, people voted for Trump because they thought, oh, he's the outsider. Oh, he's not deep state, all of that. But no, man, there's so many facts that don't prove that. The only person during the 2016 election that was for sure Bernie Sanders. Of course, he got robbed by Hillary, but that's another topic for another day. But I think political correctness and anti-social justice really breaks the brains of both the left and the right. Because I have family that were flat out even more liberal than me, and now they're Trump supporters. And I'm literally the only Bernie supporter in my family. And I like this holiday, this Christmas, I had a very not a good conversation with my uncle, who's a Trump lover. People in Miami, he was just telling me about, we have the greatest economy, unemployment for black people, for African Americans, we're low, so why do you hate the president? That means you must hate the country, so you must go. And I'm like, I told him the facts that more than 50% of people, that live more than 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck, their wages haven't skyrocketed. And I told them these facts, and they would just say, you're a commie, fake news. What you've been watching a lot of mainstream media, CNN, and I'm like, I just can't, Like I love these people because they're my family. I really like discussing people with different ideas because I really like that because you could change people. But I really think in the age of Trump, it's really hurt people's brains. It really has. For example, this YouTuber H.A. Goodman, he's a Bill Bernie supporter, right? Yeah. And now, ever since Trump became president, and Dave Rubin, they completely turned right wing. So I don't know if it's because of Trump or it has to be something. That's all I want to say. I don't want to take your much time, Tim Black. I love your show, and Happy New Year's to everybody watching, and you too, man. Have a great 2020 for progressives. That's all I wanted to say, man.
Hey, man, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it all the way from Miami. And I'll tell you, man, you're onto something. Like, people still bring up H.A. Goodman. And I'm like, wow, man, do you realize H.A. Goodman wrote hundreds of pro-Bernie articles? Like, how was I supposed to know what he was going to end up liking or doing? People still give me grief about that guy. I'm like, dude, he did more for Bernie than you has ever done. He wrote like 100 pro-Bernie articles. I don't even think he got paid for most of them. He really hated Hillary, though. I mean, really, really hated Hillary. He still makes content about Hillary, I think. But that's beside the point, man. I think you're right. Like when people talk about the economy, they're repeating stuff. Listen, when Trump was running, he used to say, all these polls, don't believe the polls, don't believe the job numbers, they're all fake news. The job numbers, they're lies. Don't believe them. Garbage in, garbage out. Don't believe the lies. The lies, the job numbers are never right. They're all manipulated. They're all fake. Now that he's president, the numbers are great. The numbers are fantastic. You can't believe how great the numbers are. The numbers are amazing. I can't believe how great I'm doing. I'm doing so great. No one's ever done as great as me. So, and the Trump supporters believe it. They're the same numbers. They didn't improve the way they do the numbers. You're right. 80% of Americans can't afford an emergency. I don't know if it's 80%. It's a large percentage, though. A lot of people have jobs, but they got gig jobs. They got jobs without benefits, jobs that are stagnant in wages. That's what we have. It's not great. But it's about more than that. So, look, I feel you. There are people who are just brain dead over Trump. And because Trump represented getting away from the establishment, getting away from these D.C. Fake lying politicians, and people thought they had an opportunity with somebody who was, like you said, an outsider. And that's very attractive to people because we weren't getting anywhere with insiders. So I get it. So I understood that, right? But at the end of the day, man, there's just so much garbage in the Trump administration. It can't be overlooked just because, and look, how outside was he if one of his close friends is the Clintons? If his daughter Ivanka and Chelsea grew up together as friends. Come on, man. So anyway, but thank you for your phone call. I appreciate you. 971, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, Tim.
Hey.
Hey, wow, I'm on. Love your show, man.
Thank you.
And sorry that you get a few trolls from time to time.
That's okay, man.
Really rough earlier. Yeah, and I live in the Seattle area now. I'm originally actually from Alexandria, Virginia, so
okay,
close to the same area as you're from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely, very close.
Very close, yeah. But wanted to say a couple of things. One quick thing. There's a podcaster, you might have heard of him. His name is Dan Carlin. He's become kind of a big deal in the last few years. One of his episodes is just a good way of, and not to throw someone else's name too much into it, but one of his episodes is basically a good way of selling Medicare for all to conservatives. So I thought it'd be a good idea. If you want, I can at some point send that out. Yeah, I mean, that was it. I just think that's probably the single biggest issue that we have coming forward, and I think if that isn't passed, then the argument becomes: is your well-being a commodity? Are you a commodity, basically? So I think it's something that conservatives can get behind. If it's presented to them in a in a good way, in a way that's budget friendly, and I think it is something that can be very popular. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say, and thank you for the time.
Sure, man. Thank you for the phone call, man. I'll look him up. I just looked at Dan Carlin, podcaster. One of the things I wanted to mention, and let me do it now. I got one caller left I need to get to, but I'm coming your way. People say, Trump is going to be so hard to beat in 2020. They keep saying that Trump is almost inevitable. And this is something that I've been doing research on, right? Trump did not win by a whole lot in 2016. Okay? He barely beat Hillary. Okay? He lost the popular vote. He won the Electoral College. He beat Hillary in some key locations like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. We know the story, right? These places that she didn't do so good in. But check this out. Which were places that Bernie does well in. But here's the other thing. What they failed to mention is 2018 was a hell of a year, bro. Did you realize that almost as many people voted in midterms who voted in the 2016 election? It wasn't that big of a, that was unprecedented. The turnout in the midterms. I mean, guys, everyone talks about Trump riling up his base, but no one talks about Democrats riling up their base or about candidates who've been able to tap into something out there that's in the zeitgeist, in the world, in the environment, in the minds of folks to get them to come out and vote. We're talking about people who normally don't vote. I mean, this is where it's at. I think people underestimate the Trump hate that's out there, and they underestimate the amount of coverage that's been heaped on Trump that has people, look, I know people, I have friends of mine who are not political at all, who have been paying attention to the impeachment. They actually watch parts of it. There are people that I've known my whole life who didn't care about politics, who watched some debates. People are, what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not the same as it was. I think that if more black people come out and vote, if some more Latinos vote, because last time in 2016, was it 35% of Latinos voted for Trump and 65% voted for Hillary? Hillary's a very hard candidate to sell to anyone. If that would have been 70-30, we probably wouldn't have a Trump presidency. I mean, it really was not, he did not crush it. And what people are not factoring in is, see, you're looking at Trump, you're going, Trump's great. No, he's not great. And his approval rating is not great. And a president under 48% has never won re-election or won an election. I mean, won a re-election. There's all these factors that people are not considering. All they're focusing on is impeachment. There are other factors besides impeachment that we need to consider. I think impeachment is going to be a wash. I don't think people are going to vote based on impeachment. I think people are going to vote based on other reasons. And if it's anything like 2018, anything like 2018, there are going to be a lot of people to come out. And if there's a huge turnout, what did Bernie say? Bernie says, if there's a huge turnout, cut the TV off, we won. I believe that. The data shows it. People ask, how the hell did AOC, a waitress, beat Crowley, who was like the fourth most powerful person in the House? Well, because she increased the turnout by like 63%. That's how she did it. People got inspired. People got motivated. People got ignited. Grassroots efforts. I think that is what's going to happen. That has the potential of happening. I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus. I can see the future. But at least factor that into your thinking when people start talking about Trump inevitability and Trump is so strong and the Democrats are so weak. You don't like the Democrats. I get that. I don't like them mostly either. Okay? But I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. I'm going to vote for a person. That person's name is Bernie Sanders. Okay? So that's a person, not a party. And that's how I look at it. And he has grassroots support. I think he'll have more grassroots support than Trump. If he's the nominee, he wins. Facts, baby. Last call. 267, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, team. It's Louis from Philadelphia.
Louis, what's up? Hey,
Remember?
Louis. What's up, man?
Yeah, I just gonna follow up what you just said, saying that we're gonna win. I'm telling you why. Listen, I told you like 2-3 months ago that every day I get a new person. I drive a cab here in Philly, and I get a new person to vote for Bernie. And this is what I do. The first thing that I tell them, that I ask them, like, hey, listen, have you heard about Bernie Sanders? Some of them say yes, some of them say no. But whenever I ask them, after I ask them that, I ask them, like, so what about those people in the media that you listen all those news from? Do you know how much money they make? And most of them, they don't know. And I said, they all millionaires. They all make $1 million, like at least $500,000 or more of money. So they never tell you what is not on their best interest. So you always got to take what they say with a grain of salt. So the only candidate that you see that they basically don't talk about, or when they talk about them, they don't do it honestly, or they basically smear him or say negative stuff about it. It's Bernie Sanders, because he's the one who says stuff like, we're going to give everybody health care. We're going to give everybody a job guarantee. We're going to give everybody free college. We're going to do all these things that a lot of them other countries have, but they don't tell you that. They just tell you, like, how we're going to pay for it, because unfortunately they know that the way that we are going to pay for it is by taxing them more money. So they don't want to tell you that. Old people, a lot of the old people that I know, it's not like they are stupid or they don't know. It's that they need to be, the things that we know, it needs to be simplified for them. It needs to be A to B. So as soon as you make the money connection to them, it's like unreputable. That's why Trump connected with a lot of them, because he made it easy. He made it, hey, you see those people? I bribe all of them. I brought all of them, so they did what I want. So now, if you vote for me, you don't have to worry. I'm not gonna be bribed, because I know how the game is played. And exactly, that's the same thing that if we want to convince them, we want to tell them, like, because a lot of them, they fear Bernie Sanders cannot win, because the news tells them, can a socialist win? It's always the question. A lot of them, they come and say, like, oh, but he's a socialist. He might, but Bernie Sanders, ain't he this and this and that? And I'm like, but you know that all these other people, they all too, or, and every time it's the little things. Old people talk about them like, we're going to raise your Social Security. That's what he wants. He wants everybody to have health care. They right away, they don't understand that. They don't need the details. It's just the media that tell you that they need the details. They don't need those details. As long as you say that you're going to raise their Social Security benefit, that Bernie Sanders wants to do that, you got him to talk to you right away. And some of them that are more negative, there's some of them that are far gone. Like, I just met this guy that he's kind of a Trump supporter, and he was against the fact that AOC protested against Amazon coming to New York. And we spoke for like 10 minutes, and the guy was on my side because he saw, like, I told him, you know how much money Amazon paid on taxi last year? He said, no. He said, they got a rebate of $192 million, and they want $3 billion from New York, from the city of New York, to them, for them to bring their company there, when Facebook and Google did that for free. So do you think it's that fair? They just got $192 million. Have you got anything from the federal government? And he's like, okay, now I understand. Because sometimes they don't have the facts. And that's how we got to talk with our friends and family. Simplify everything. Make it all about the corruption and the money, how Bernie fights against all that. And the second reason why I know why Bernie Sanders is going to win. You see, my voice is hard because I got the flu and I'm extremely sick. I was like 3-4 days in bed with fever and all this stuff. Last month, I had a couple of emergency. I got robbed and all this stuff, and I missed my rent. This month I basically haven't been able to pay it yet. I'm still collecting the money to pay for it. I still donated $27 to Bernie Sanders, and I'm working since 7 today in the morning until now that I'm going to sleep to my daughter who's an autistic, and I pay $200 every month every week just for her daycare. That's the life of a regular person in this country, overwork more than 12 hours a day to provide for their family. And now, it's not like I'm the only one who works. My wife works too, and we still are struggling. No other politician understands this struggle, only Bernie Sanders. And that's why I take money from my rent to give it to that man, and I won't give up. And a lot of people like me won't do the same. Like, it's not me. This is not my story. It's a lot of people who are struggling that I know. And right now, I'm counting. I got over 300 people that I have signed up on the Bernie app to get us there. So we're gonna win. We're gonna win, man. Thank you for your time and
man,
do your thing, man.
Man, thank you, my brother. Thank you for being you. You hear me? Hold on, man. Let me cut this down. Thank you for being you, man. You are inspiration. You are inspiration, brother. You need to film. You need to ask these people, can you film your conversations? And you need to put that on the internet. You, sir, have a great personality. I love your story. I love what you're about. Hit me up. Email me. We'll see what we can do about getting a camera that you could put in your cab or in your car or whatever so that you can film, with permission, of course, these conversations. Dude, I think you're onto something. I would love to see that happen for you. I think that you have something, and if I can help you in any way, I would gladly do so. So if you need any help with that, it's just an idea, my brother. I think you could do very well. And I think that you would inspire many people. And I think you will help Bernie Sanders, you will inspire people, and it would be amazing. So my name is Tim. Well, my email is tim@timblacktv.com. Email me there, brother, and let's do it. You should do this. We should find a way to do this. Okay? Okay. And even if that didn't work out for whatever reasons, after you got off work, you could just take your phone and say, okay, this is day 2 of, we give it a name, and you say, I talked to these people today. This is what I talked about, and da-da-da, and you could do that. And then you upload that right from your phone. You don't need no special computers. Just upload it. I think you should do it, brother. I would watch it, and I would help you share it. So email me at tim@timblacktv.com. All right, guys, that's the end of the show for tonight. Man, thank you for everybody who called up. Great callers, as always. I'm glad we did this show tonight. I was a little reluctant with the family, spending some time, like, because it's the holiday season. Like, you know what? But my callers want to call in, and this is Freedom Friday. So I could do it. Why not do it? Right? Because it's for you. It's for you guys. If it was for me, I'd just do a video tomorrow. But this is for my people. And I think my people look forward to it. So I love you guys, man. And you guys inspire the hell out of me. You understand that? This is therapy for me too. You guys lift me up. And it's amazing what you guys do. So thank you to everybody. Shout out to everybody who called in. Remember, sprinkle some facts on them. Don't argue with people. A man changed against his will is of the same opinion still. Thank you for all that you do. Sprinkle some facts on them. Don't let them take your cornbread. And now I want to go to the comments section and see if I had comments that I haven't talked about yet. Let's see what we have. Okay, 99 Nation. Home Alone clip. If the people requested to censor, it'd be better on how you go about erasing a psychopath, demagogue from reaching minds of children. Mitchell, the mystery man. Amy Klobuchar is the Karen of the candidates. Is the Karen of the candidates. And B4 gave to the show as well. I think everyone else, I already read your comments. I think I did. I think I got to them earlier, man. That's it, guys. Anybody else got any comments? Don't forget, guys, to go do this. Let's see if I got. There we go. That's it back. Let's see if we can put it in. Well, yeah. So right here, text the word cornbread to 21,000 to join the Tim Black VIP Club, the text list, where we send you updates and stuff. We've been doing that. I'm just getting started with that, so we'll be sending out more texts as time goes on. I kind of don't want to crowd people. I don't want to, overload people. There we go. I don't want to overload people with the text, but just like once a week, maybe at the most twice a week, but mainly like once a week, I'll send you a text message. I'll let you know what's going on. So I just sent everybody a link of the Nina Turner interview I did, just in case you wanted to check it out and in case you didn't have a chance to check your email or in case you don't get notifications. And so do that. Text me the word cornbread, one word, to 21,000 on your smartphone and opt into the list. All right, guys. Don't forget, we got a Facebook group called the Tim Black Speak On It group. It's on Facebook. And, yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Look for updates on my YouTube channel. We got new content coming out. Everybody in the Wolfpack, thank you so much for making this show possible. I'm glad to hear people respect the show. They appreciate the show. They think they get a good value for what they contribute to the show, that they get a good value in return. I love doing the show. Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon. Until then, sprinkle some facts on them. And don't let nobody take your cornbread. Wolfpack, not me, yes. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. Happy New Year! Power to the people! Happy New Year, guys. Everybody have a safe Happy New Year. I love you guys. Wolfpack.